Hello, am I centralised? I am. We return to playing Notorious. We have Tulu Saloon, who is a Murian, who are a rat-like species that I did get. Dali, which is embedded within Bing, to do the prompt I put was a rat man sci-fi warrior wearing a jumpsuit, wielding a two-handed power hammer. I think I said. But it's quite good. It's probably on the screen now. Anyway, we're back with Tulu, who has been pursuing their target on the aquatic planet of Veltari, where Tulu has fought a kraken-like creature with tentacles and is pursuing Fez Talon, a Valk, who are a bird-like species, who was an ex-member of the Mystic Order but went rogue and switched sides from light to dark. They are vain and cocky. We have already pinned down one lead, who was Dart, a Murian, who also worked for Mystic Dawn, the Mystic Order. Mystic Dawn, where does Mystic Dawn come from? But also worked for Mystic Order. We dispatched them and got information leading to our next lead. So within Notorious, you find two leads and then you continue searching, and the next person you find is your target, and then you have a showdown and an epilogue. So we have found our second lead. We ended just knowing that we had found our second lead, but we hadn't rolled any statistics for our second lead. So we will do that now. We will roll up our second lead. Now, if I remember rightly, we start with species, but I'll double check. Pretty sure we do start with species for the first, and so roll species, yes. So let's switch to this. So species is 2 dice, which gave us a 7, which are human. So it is a human, and humans are described as ape-like. It says Dankin, but I'm going to say Duncan LaFoe. So this is Duncan LaFoe. It must be personality next, which is a 1. Another cocky person, cocky Duncan LaFoe. And then we've done species, cocky, information, roll on the leads table to discover who they are, which is a D6, which is a 6. They are a rival nomad. Okay. Another contract was taken out. They're a rival nomad vying to get to the target first and capture or protect them. Roll for their nomad profile. Resolve all. Roll for their nomad profile. Oh, roll their nomad profile. So that's page 22. What are they? If it's a nomad, if it's an armourer or an assassin and they kill me, I'll be very, very displeased. They are 5. A scoundrel. And a scoundrel means that they have a +4 attack pistol for ranged. They have a stun baton for melee, which is +2 attack for the first, then +1 baton, and they have +1 heart, wide brim hat, thigh holster, and duster coat. So they are a rival nomad vying to get to the target first, to capture them or protect them. Roll their nomad profile. Done. Resolve all. So we've got 1. What connection does this nomad have to our origin? So that's an interesting one, isn't it? because we dealt with the duel. We mentioned that in the last one. We said that what was his name? Dart. Dart was the one who called us out on the duel, which is why we were happy to fight them. So what to our origin? Our origin is a beautiful planet scorched by war. Maybe it was humans who came to our planet and were the antagonists were the antagonists who attacked our planet, and it was humans who were the ones who destroyed everything. And Duncan knows that, and Duncan is always mentioning it and always going on about it. And Toulouse, with their solemnness, tries not to rise the bait, but there's been this underlying animosity between them. They attack you using the loadout on their profile. Lose 2 favour and gain 1 notoriety if you kill them. We don't mind doing that. Okay. So, speaking with them. Oh, that's it. It says that if you're speaking with a lead or a nomad, you automatically succeed. No need to roll. So, speak with lead. So, I just roll a d6. That's 6. Okay, this says your client lied to you about your target's actions. What part of your client's accusations are complete lies or wild exaggerations? So the scoundrel, hold on. So after we've done that, we then need a location, don't we? So we've got their key information. We know who they are. Then roll on the leads table to discover who they are. Yep, okay. So we've got that. Wasn't that, weren't we supposed to do, to create a lead? Oh, first rolls showdown. So first off, which is page 66. That's the page I was thinking of. So page 66 gives us the site and the setting, which will be purple clear. 2 and 4. So 2. So we're on. Okay. So we meet on a bridge. That reminds me of game. Well, it's a bit like that, isn't it? This, where we are now, because we're on all these floating islands, it is a bit like the Iron Islands, Game of Thrones, when what's his name, the slightly mental one, returns to the Iron Islands and then chucks his brother over the bridge, so to become the king of the Islands. So that was 2. We meet on a bridge. And 4. One of you has enraged a large herd of native beasts, causing a stampede that rushes towards you. I think I prefer the idea. Ooh, the temperature is rapidly becoming dangerously high or freezing cold. No, I like 1. You're both caught in heavy rain, wind or sandstorm obscuring your vision, which is the same as we had first time, but it kind of meets. We're on a bridge. There's lots of crashing waves. We mentioned waves in the last one, didn't we? Toulouse has been asking around. We're on the city, aren't we? We're on Gilareth, the floating city. Has been asking around Gilareth for the rest of the day after dispatching Dart. It's becoming late and it's becoming dark, and Toulouse knows that they're looking for a nomad, as the notes within Dart's robes inferred that it was a nomad that Toulouse should be looking for next. As Toulouse is moving around, is that higher than normal? As Toulouse is moving around the city, crossing over between segments and sections, their sixth sense sort of pings, and they notice that people have thinned out and disappeared, and where even during the night time in this city is quite bustling and active, there's no one in this section as Toulouse leaves via one of the large waterproof, watertight doors. She leaves, goes to go onto quite a rickety walkway, which crosses over between sections, and all of a sudden realises there's nobody else around, and there's a figure coming towards them across the other side of the walkway, wearing a duster and a hat cocked to the side. So, Tulu, you trying to get my target, are you? No, it's not your target. I was assigned this. I was assigned the chip for this. I've got the contract. No, we didn't trust you'd be able to do it, you see. So I got it. Always with you. Well, I've got to come and clean up, haven't I? Because you lot make a mess wherever you are. Us humans, we've got to come and clear you out, you vermin. Don't start again, Duncan. Oh, Tulu, you're so sensitive. Do you want me to get you a bit of cheese or something, calm you down? And with that, Tulu grunts and then starts to speed up as they charge towards Duncan. Duncan, being a gunslinger, will have kept a distance to allow them to get off at least, well, let's see, would they get, so 1 to 3, so 1 is they get off 3 shots, 6 they get off 1 shot, anywhere in between they get off 2 shots. 1 they get off 3 shots, that sucks. Okay, so our Tulu will have to be get out their las rifle, and they will begin firing as they're charging forwards. And Duncan is going to draw pistols and start snap shooting. Because Tulu is a brute, that's the reason why it's taking Tulu so long to get across the walkway. And there are 3 rounds of ranged combat before Tulu will be close enough to start wading in with the power hammer. Now luckily, 1, 2, 3, 4, I've got 4 motivation left. We've got 1 heart, and Duncan has 1 heart. So Duncan has a +4 pistol. We have on this first round a +1 las rifle. So Duncan starts firing and we start returning fire. That's a 5 and a 5, which means Duncan gets a 9 and we get a 6. A 5 and a 5. Let's make Duncan. Let's see if I can roll a 1, that becomes a 5 and we win. So let's see if I can make that become a 1 by using one of the motivation and re-rolling it. No. Well, that was stupid, really, wasn't it? Still, there's a 1 in 6 chance. Okay, so I'm going to burn our heart. Oh man, we might lose this. I'm going to burn our heart now to cancel that out. That's 1. And then we're closer, and our las rifle has spun up, which means it gets a +2 now against Duncan, who's standing his ground, legs astride, doing hip firing at Tulu, as Tulu not bounds, lumbers forwards. Oh, rolled a 1. We have a 3, so a 3. Oh, it's got to beat it, hasn't it? Well, I need. Okay, I'm gonna spend another motivation and try and re-roll this one. No, that's no good because this is actually the same. So it's 3 + 2 is 5. 1 + 4 is 5. I'm going to spend a second one, giving me 1 motivation left. Come on. Yes, that wins. So that used up 2 motivation. And Duncan's heart has gone. So because that's 4 plus 1 is 5. No, 4 plus 2 is 6. 1 plus 4 is 5. Second round of ranged combat. Oh man, it sucks that it rolled a 1 for 3 rounds. I have 1 motivation left. He has no motivation left. We both have 1 heart. The minigun is starting to glow red hot, and steam is coming off as the rain and the sea sort of hits it. Duncan is looking a bit panicked as he has switched guns to a secondary pistol, as this one has overheated and he's still firing. Come on. Oh, a 5 and a 4. I got a 5. Duncan gets a 4. I will consume my last motivation. Damn, we're going to have to get more before we go to make Duncan reroll this. No! Tulu! Okay. Oh man, Tulu. I have no other resources left to lean upon. So we've lost that. So Tulu, in running forwards, slipped on the rain, cracked Tulu's head on one of the posts, and Tulu has fallen unconscious, with red being the last thing she sees. Now, what I need to do is failure. After you exhaust defense and motivation, yes, it's time to roll for your fate. Roll a die. 6. You flee from confrontation or hide somewhere unusual. Lose 1 notoriety or 1 favour. I will lose 1 notoriety. So what we'll say is what I just said isn't what happens. No, yes, okay, we'll do this. So Tulu doesn't fall unconscious, but as Duncan approaches, Tulu comes back to consciousness and rolls off the bridge, falling into the water and out of Duncan's reach, where Tulu will swim to the side and climb up and spend the night recovering, with intentions of setting out to, so I'm going to lose 1 notoriety, with intentions of setting out tomorrow and trying to track Duncan down for a second confrontation. Yes, so Duncan is our second lead, that if we get another lead rolled, it will be a reconfrontation with Duncan. We are going to have to go around and see if we can find people to help us either improve our armor or increase our motivation, and maybe see if we can catch Duncan in a hand-to-hand combat instead. See if we can. So now we know Duncan is here. Okay. Whew. That could have been death. So, Duncan, we shall have our revenge on you, my friend. Exploration. So first off we explore. So we roll a d6. A 4. If your notoriety is 4 or higher, you encounter a lead. Otherwise, roll on the exploration events table. So 1, 2, 3. Well, it is. It's 7. But I think we're going to look on the exploration table, because we are going to be actively avoiding Duncan for a while. And rolling an exploration table is purple's what table, clears is the entry. So we've got 6 and 5. Oh, 6 and 5. You find a locked crate painted with the logo of the controlling faction. It's probably fallen off the back of a speeder. So whilst moving in the back shadows, we will find a locked crate. Let's see. 2. Trying to open it triggers an explosive trap. Lose 1 motivation. I haven't got 1 motivation to lose. What pre-recorded voice message played when you failed to break the lock? Ah, it's going to be Duncan, isn't it? Duncan, being the sneaky little swine that he is, has secreted things like this all around to try and lure me out. So it would be a message basically teasing. Oh, it would be a message saying it's when you set bait, you're bound to catch a rat. Will be what he says. So I can't lose a motivation. So I think I will lose a notoriety instead, because it's words getting around that I'm being baited and trapped. So then we have destination. So as I try to avoid this, we go destination, which is rolling on the destination table, which is a 6. You arrive at a fortified base or palace run by the controlling faction. Resolve both. Gain 1 notoriety. If it's 4 or higher, which it is, a hostile guard approaches. So we gain 1 notoriety. So the hostile guard approaches because he's heard that I'm a pushover. He's a +2. So first we have to resolve this. Resolve both. 1 is gain 1 notoriety. Done it. If it's 4 or higher, a hostile guard approaches, which we'll do. 2 is roll twice on the destination events table. Destination. Oh, that's the destination events table. Okay. Well, first off, let's resolve this guard, who I think I will attempt to threaten and just tell to bounce, to do one, to jog on. So this is a hostile. Threaten is page 14. Jog on, son. I haven't got time for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Rounded up, so that's 8. So that's +4. He's clears. We're purple. So 4. So we've got 7. So it's much higher. So we roll a d6, which is a 1. Okay, so he came up and he was looking quite nervous when he came up. It so happens that his boyfriend that he was seeing had committed quite a series of crimes that he was unaware of, and a nomad had received a contract for them, and so he's a bit nervous to come and talk to us. And it ended up that when he came over, it wasn't, maybe he was meant to be threatening, but it didn't in the end. And he just came over to talk and didn't really say much, and then he disappeared again. And then I rolled twice on the destination events table, which is purples then clears. 5 and 6. Table 5. Entry 6. Something about this. So we've come to an area and it's a marketplace probably, because Toulouse seems to hang around a lot of marketplaces and watch the people in the marketplace, and so it has a strange familiar feel, this marketplace, and we wander around looking at the night stalls. Oh no, it'd be the morning now, wouldn't it? Looking at the morning stalls, and everything looks quite familiar. This is bad again, isn't it? And we sit to have breakfast, and it's a certain type of porridge that we remember from our childhood, which we remember how beautiful the planet where we were born on was until the humans came. And seeing Duncan again has just brought up lots of bad memories of the horror that occurred during those dark times of our childhood during the invasion. And again, I don't have a motivation to lose, so I'll lose a notoriety. That like unable to finish the food, we push it away, and the vendors, it's all right. It's not that it tastes bad, is it? Oh no, I'm just not quite feeling it this morning. So oh, here we go. So as we say that, there's, because it said to roll twice, someone who looks like a tribal elder, wearing lots of shells and beads, comes and sits next to us. and draws us into conversation, even though we're solemn and we try not to get dragged into conversation. Come on, roll high for me. 4. That's good enough. They start to talk, and it says here that there could be an asset. So we start telling them that what we're here for, and that someone broke the law, and we're just here to bring them to justice, and that's all we're really trying to do. And the elder continues to talk to us, and so in the end we will now attempt to recruit them and see if they can be of help to us, because maybe they can be of help to us, and maybe they can give us more armor, because a few of these give you +1 armor and some give you +1 attack, because we could do with our firearm being a ranged weapon being increased if we have to go up against Duncan. So it says +half favor rounded up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gives us +3. So we really start talking to this elder just about our childhood and about the justice and how it's very important to us, and this human. So that gives that. So it has 2. We have 4, 5, 6, 7. So the elder is successfully brought over to our viewpoint. What can they offer us? 4. They can offer us, okay, because it says Master Artisan, which doesn't really count, but possibly provides a +1 heart against lead or target. Possibly, alright. They are going to offer us from their tribal garments a piece of armor which is made of the shells, but they're particularly hardened. Oh, there's some big sea monster like the Kraken who attacked, which has large scales, like a large angry fish. Like, what was the fish from Brendan Holly's Little Kingdom? Bob? The one that kept trying to attack Mr. Elf. But anyway, some scales from Bob. So we have a scale, a Bob scale vest, which gives us +1 heart against lead or target, which is going to be Duncan. That gives us 2 against his 1. Yes. Then requires repairs and may not be used again. Yeah, that's cool. Okay. So that was our second row on the destinations table. Thank God we didn't have to fight that guard, that hostile. So we'll do one more exploration loop, and then we will. I think we'll need to do another couple of. Maybe we'll spend most of the day exploring. So we'll do a couple more exploration loops, and then confront Duncan again. So exploring. A 3. So again, we could find the lead, but instead we're not. We'll do a roll on the exploration table, which is a 4 and a 3. You see that? Is it in focus? No, sometimes it goes out of focus, and I sometimes don't see it. A 4 and a 3. So table 4, entry 3. So it's 2 hostile scouts from the old empire speed past you on screeching hoverbikes. Okay, let's see. So we've got 1 to 4, 5 to 6. What do we get? We get 6. They notice you and dismount to ask you a few questions. Why do you get the sense they're just bored and looking for trouble? They notice. All right. So these are a couple of sort of spike people. If they fight us, and they've only got 1 attack, they're in for a bad time. Not that we have much that we can. So they come over. So does it say they're hostile? 2. It does say 2 hostile scouts from the Old Republic speed past you on screeching hoverbikes. They notice you dismount to ask. Okay, so they're coming over to ask who we are. Like, probably it's to do with the seashell jacket that we're now wearing makes us stand out a bit, and our massive power hammer dripping with blood from the hilt and the head, and we're quite badly scarred from that attack from Duncan. So they could just attack us, or we've got threatening. So I guess if we warn them off and act threatening, maybe we can scare them. Well, probably we can because our notoriety is quite high here. So if we fail, they will attack us. So we are going to attempt to threaten them and tell them to get back on their bikes and go bother someone else. So half is 3. Purples is us. Well, they get a +1 of 4 and we get a +3 of 6. So they come towards us. One stays near his bike and the other one comes up, and we just we do that, leaning back, arms crossed, just looking at them as though they aren't worth our time. As they come over and he starts talking to us, and we just give off an air of animosity and danger, and we're feeling quite annoyed with ourselves that we got beaten by Duncan on the bridge yesterday. And so the police officer talks to us for a bit, asks us questions, and after no response he says, well, you just keep your nose clean and keep out of trouble, and then backs away and goes back to his bike. And they stand talking to each other for a bit. I'm going to write down 2 old Empire bike patrollers. Maybe they'll come back. If they come back next time, give +1 for threaten. So they'll get a plus, because if they come back they really do want some trouble and it'll be hard for us not to. So then we end up, where do we end up in our destination, pray tell? 1 dice. A 3. You arrive at a bustling, so how about we arrive at a scrap crawler run by the locals. So instead of the bustling market, we'll come to a scrap market. And we can either, here we go, if we can gain 1 more too. We speak to one of the scrap dealers who's there, and they say to us that they can help us out if we can go gather up some scrap for them. And so we'll spend a couple of hours, we'll go down, we'll go back to that market where we fought the Kraken, and we'll clean up some of the scrap and bring it to them. And they give us a motivation in exchange. So they help us out and trade us some things, which gives us a bit of an edge and gives us the motivation. And after that, Tulu needs to explore a few more times. Basically, we need to boost our resources a bit before we go up against Duncan again, because Duncan is ranged and we are not. So we need to try and get another couple of assets. So sorry, I forgot to write this list down. Elder with armor. Okay, so for now we're done.